Okay, don't look here. Look right there. Can you do that for me? Okay, let's do this. Hey folks, I'm Brandon Porter, a realtor in the great little town of Newberg, Oregon. I create weekly videos that highlight the reason that my town is so great. I've been producing my show for a little over a year and a half now, and in that time I've become an influencer in Newberg. I've been asked to speak at community events. I've been recognized all over town by people I've never met before, and many have said that I am the face of Newberg. The reason that you're watching this video, I'm assuming, is that you have expressed some interest in doing something similar in your town. Today, I'm gonna pull back the curtain on my show, answer a few questions that will help you understand the strategy behind it, and give you some tips that will help you become the face of your community. The reason I started creating weekly videos about Newberg, the town where I live, is because I knew that I wanted to make it the center of where I practiced real estate. I came across someone you may be familiar with, Gary Vaynerchuk. When I heard him say that if he were a realtor, he would become the digital mayor of his town, I knew exactly how I wanted to build my real estate business. To edit my videos, I use a program called Final Cut Pro 10, and I went to YouTube University to learn how to do it. In other words, I watched hours of how-to videos. Editing is one of those things that kind of holds realtors up from creating a show like I do, and I get it because each week I spend anywhere from 6 to 10 hours editing my show. When I tell folks that, they often ask me, Brandon, why don't you just outsource your editing? The reason I haven't yet is because I really love editing my videos. It's where I get to unleash my creativity and add my personality. It all goes down in the edit. But it is a time suck. So if you're sitting there saying, I don't care about the artistic side of it, I'm not that creative, I just know that I need content in order to thrive in my real estate business, then by all means, outsource it. In short, don't let editing be the reason that you don't do a show. A shot of tequila usually does the trick. I'm kidding, don't give your guests alcohol. But if they offer you some, don't refuse it. That'd just be rude. I'm gonna give you 3 tips right now that I use every time I have a guest on my show to help them feel more comfortable on camera. But first, none of these tips will work if you yourself are not comfortable being on camera. If you are nervous and stressed, they're gonna be nervous and stressed. The quickest way to get comfortable on camera is be in front of it a lot. Start with filming yourself, even if it's having the camera on you while you're sitting here doing other tasks. Exposure therapy works. I'm not a licensed therapist, please consult with one before proceeding. I've always been one who prefers to be behind the camera, so this is definitely something that I've had to get over and overcome in order to make my show successful. Okay, let's get into these tips. Tip 1, build rapport. Before I've even taken out any of my gear, as I'm walking around their store trying to figure out where I want this interview to take place, I'm working to build some common ground, connect with them. The one thing that I know you'll have in common with your guest is your community, so start there. If they make a comment about their nerves or tell you that they're camera shy, let them know how many times you've messed up. You're human, it's no big deal, and that is what editing software is for. It's no big deal. Tip 2, this is more of something that you just need to be cognizant of rather than an actionable item. Once you and your guest are a couple minutes into the interview, I guarantee both of you will completely forget about the camera. From that point forward, it's just like you're having a conversation with a friend. They won't believe you when you try to tell them that, but it's true, and you can tell them I told you so afterwards. Tip 3, make them feel good. Find something that you can compliment them on. By complimenting them, you are gonna trigger a dopamine dump, or whatever that hormone is that makes you feel good and happy. Pretty sure it's dopamine. Serotonin? You're gonna make them feel good. They're gonna be happy, you're gonna be happy, everybody will be happy. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yeah. Listen, there's no way that you're gonna get around the fact that talking to a camera in public looks weird. And that's because other people don't see it as that. They see it as you recording yourself talking to yourself, which is weird. I'm a fairly reserved person, believe it or not, so having a bunch of eyeballs on me, like ruthlessly judging me, is not my favorite thing. Definitely something that I fight. Every time I'm in front of the camera, I just take a deep breath and do it anyway. If I catch someone looking at me funny and I can feel their judgment across the room, I'll usually take the camera, point it at them, and just make a joke out of it. The reason I do this is very intentional. I want my audience to feel like they know me, that they're friends with me, even if they haven't met me yet. Do you like being on Daddy's videos? You do. High five? If you think that's outlandish, it's not. Once you let someone into your life a little, they'll connect with you. I don't share everything with my audience. I've got my boundaries. But I can tell you that a personal connection does not come from being professional, monotone. It comes from being vulnerable and being real with your audience and letting them know a little bit about who you are. Are you trying to mess Daddy's computer up? It's not working because I have it turned off. I'm sure you already know that people will pick a realtor who they know, like, and trust. You can accomplish all three through video before you've ever met someone in person. I added this one. I believe that we should be marketing at such a level that people are thanking us for marketing to them. Don't just pepper people with your just listeds and just solds, telling them about your open houses or that you negotiated a few bucks off of a transaction for somebody. No one cares. Instead, produce content that's valuable to your audience. When you do a show about your community, local business owners, your potential clients, will thank you because you're going to help them attract new customers into their business. Members of the community, also your potential clients, will thank you because you're going to be showing them new things that they've never known before about the community where they live. Above all, be genuine. The main reason that I produce my show is not to sell more real estate. It's because I have a deep love for this town and I want to do my part in helping make it an even better place than it already is. People these days have really strong BS detectors. If you're not a fan of where you focus your real estate business, whether that's where you live or not, oddly this is the case for a lot of realtors I've spoken to who are discussing whether or not to start a show about their town. You're not going to be able to shed a positive light on it for long before you either burn yourself out or people just see straight through it. Lastly, and I want to leave you with this, there's one big regret that I have about the show that I do. That regret is that I sat on the idea for an entire year and did nothing with it. After seeing how far I've come in the last year and a half of doing this show, I can only wonder where I would be had I started immediately. Friend, if you've been toying with the idea of producing content about your community, let me ask you, why haven't you started already? Thanks so much for watching. I really hope this helps. If you want to connect with me, visit facebook.com/The Brandon Porter Show. I'm happy to answer any additional questions you may have. See ya.